Hi guys, what's going on? This is Robin from Dutch Trading FX. If you're looking for a easy and simple strategy to implement that can be executed over and over again, just like this trade over here, you are the right video. So, a good strategy consists of a few elements. First, you're trading with a trend. Second, you are trying to catch the pullback, waiting for a break of structure, and then enter for a continuation. Of course, there is a lot of small elements that go into this, but this is the core idea of the strategy. So to show it on this trade live, we are trending heavily down. We pulled back right into this supply area. We made a light pullback, not a lot of momentum, and then we broke structure pretty aggressively with a lot of force. It's what you're looking for, and then you enter on the highest imbalanced order block, just like there, get tapped in, and then you have a few options to target. What I like to do is have a first TP of 3R, a second TP for liquidating the Asia session, and you could have a third TP for continuing the trend and setting a new lower low or higher high. And with this trade, in this case, it would be for a 10R. There are a couple of elements that are important when it comes down to trading this strategy. First one, you need to be in a trend. Second, you need to have a pullback with a liquidation. Then you're looking for the break of structure, and then you enter on an order block. So the way I trade my strategy is I trade based off of sessions. You have the Asian session, which is consolidation. You have the London session, which give impulses. And you have the New York session, which also gives impulses. Just like you can see here. New York, impulse. Asian session, consolidation or sideways. London session, impulse. Now when it comes down to spotting the trend, it can get quite confusing. Because do you need to look at the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart, the 30-minute chart? It can get quite confusing. So I like to keep things simple. I look at 2 time frames, which is the 30 minutes. And as you can see, we are bearish on the 30 minutes. And I like to look at the sessions, specifically the New York session of the day before. If I'm going for a short, I want the New York session to be significantly above my entry point, just like you can see here. Another thing I look for when identifying the trend is I look at daily sessions. Just like the New York session, I want the previous daily session. As you can see right here, this is the previous day session. I want it to be significantly above my entry point when I'm shorting and significantly below my entry point when I'm longing. To give you a quick sketch, what it looks like. Just like you can see right here, the entry point is right here, and the New York session is significantly above the entry. Also in reverse, for a long, the New York session is significantly below the entry session. And you could also see it as the daily sessions. So this would be your current daily session, and this would be your previous daily session. Then you would want the previous daily session to be significantly below your entry point when you're longing, and significantly above your entry point when you're shorting. If you just use these 2 things to identify the trend, you don't need to look any further. You don't need to look at 10 different time frames. You can just keep it simple and you will never be confused again. So when it comes down to the pullback you should trade, you want the pullback to be at a supply or demand area. I will show you some examples of when that is not the case. Like here, you did not touch a supply or demand area and thus falling through. Just like here, we are trading in an empty space. We are not reacting on anything, thus going right through it. Or right here, we are not reacting on anything, just empty space over here, thus going right through it. Or like here, reacting on nothing, right? Just empty space, no supply or demand area, and thus wicking right through it. Now when it comes down to the break of structure, you first want to identify the swings. and then you want to break the last higher low or lower high. And the important thing is, you want it to be with quite some force. You don't want it to be like this. You want it to have it move quite fast, indicating a lot of strength. Then you identify the imbalanced order block to enter from, you put your limit order on, and then you run. To show you some examples of when the break of structure is too weak. As you can see right here, the break of structure was very weak, didn't have a lot of force, and that's why the trend just continued lower. As you can see right here, you have the break of structure over here, happened quite slow and weak. You had this enormous wick indicating still bullish strength, and it wicked right through your entry. Just like here, not very strong, all these little pullbacks, and then all these wicks indicating not a lot of strength, and it continued lower. Or over here, another pullback in between, barely coming above your high to then just go right through your entry. Or over here, all these pullbacks again, huge wick above your break of structure point and fell right through it. Some examples of strong break of structures, as you can see, a lot of force, breaking all these structures at once, entry, and you're off. Or like here, swing high, low, high, and then with a lot of force, the break of structure, and then you enter and it runs. Or like here, this strong move, breaking all these structures at once. Or right here, if you're low, you're high, you're low, and in one move, boom, your break of structure. Just like here, you're low, you're high, and in one move, boom, the break of structure. So another important thing with the strategy is the timing. And that comes down to the session. As I said, the Asian is consolidation, the New York and London is impulse. So that's exactly what you want to trade, the New York and the London. That means the key times are right around the start of London and the start of New York, where the impulses happen. So what is the win rate of this strategy? I will show you right now. So I've written down all the wins and losses in this spreadsheet. In total 82 wins that run more than a 3R and 102 losses. That comes down to a 44% win rate for every win in 3R, for every loss -1. If you like this video or you learned something, please subscribe. Bye.